Lorcata cards here. We're going to be doing some Pixelborning tonight, some Lorcana on Twitch. We even got a special guest tonight. So we got a Mr. Jotham Johnson, number one, won at the 1K. He won first place. That Dex and Dice Tournament Center ran this past Saturday, the LGS that we mainly go to. It's going to be such an honor to be able to play some games with him, figure out what his strategy was. So we're excited about how that's going to come out to be. So he'll be getting on the stream within the next 30 minutes or so. So until then, we can be playing some Pixelborn. So real quick, let's just get some gameplay going for you guys. Welcome everybody to the chat. I'm going to show you guys my Green Machina deck. 41% win rate. A little bit of a fun deck here. Some green blue. Pretty good first hand. I'm going to take these two out. I'm looking for another item. Popsicle, that's right. I'm going to go ahead and get 4 dozen eggs each. Popsicle it up. Alright, so it's going to make me discard, so I'm just going to go ahead and ink that popsicle and pass. Well, they might discard, who knows. This is Emerald. Ooh. Could possibly do a whole new world. Okay, got the Cheshire Cat. They're probably going to do the Shifty Cheshire Cat, which I versed. My first one, I think, was yesterday. I was able to defeat the person, but man, the struggle is real. Alright, we need to keep inking because we need to bring out our people pretty darn quick. So go ahead and get one of these Donald's inked. If they try to discard the card from my hand, I think they can only do one. Yep. Maybe two. I would get rid of Prince John and the Hero because I'll get draw support from Donald. Right now they can sing 2 songs. And since they're playing that Flynn, I know they're going to try to discard. But I won't let them. Because I'm going to do something fun. I'm actually going to ink Aurora. Fishbone Quill the Hero. Bring out the Genie. And pop Flynn back into their hand. How about that for a lore combo? Hey, Quickbo, how's it going? It's all about that fishbone, I'm telling you. If you get that and Popsicle in your first hand, how's it going, everybody? Welcome, welcome. We're doing some Sapphire Emerald action. I call it the Green Machina or the Green Machina deck. Do TCG, welcome. Tom and Purple, thanks for coming in with the raid, man. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Looking for people chatting it up today. Let's see what to do next. Well, they could do a whole new world next turn, so let's prepare for that. Since they can't target Prince John, the only other thing they can do is shift into Cinderella, and then maybe do an action with Cheshire Cat, and then they can attack Prince John and bye bye. So let's let's leave it like that. Let's just quest for 2 because I want to bring out Jasmine next turn, so that way she could heal and take care of Genie. Since they really don't have any evasive cards at this moment other than that one Flynn, we want to keep Genie healed up. Oh, Cheshire. Okay, he can start taking out people. Okay, all right. Wait, why do you do that? He could have literally shifted. Huh. I mean, not shift. He could have literally just exerted and then got rid of him. Interesting. He's willing to take the damage. Well, because he's taking on multiple people. Let's do that. I do have some answers for him, but I have to get him with the draw support. So if he gets rid of my Donald, then that's not good. So we'll see. You might want the draw support with the Donald. See, again, the second time I'm playing with the Cheshire Cat against the Cheshire Cat, so they can do some crazy stuff. So let's see. All right, quest. Really? I thought you would have got rid of Donald. No, that helps me too much. Oh man. Wow. Okay. Wow, especially now. Man, missed opportunity there. Oh man. All right. So let's go ahead and quest with you. Quest with you. Hmm. I don't really need more ink. Well, let's get a little bit more ink because I don't know if they're gonna do a whole new world. Hey, Lily Neko, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I appreciate it, Tom and Purple. It was nice meeting you in person. That was awesome. Last week at Dex and Dice Tournament Center, so I didn't do so good in tournament. That's all right. Got to stream some of the last games, so that was cool. Prince John, another favorite. Well, your name Lily Neko. Neko is cat in Japan, so I'm wondering if you just like a whole bunch of cat characters late in the game that is so fun in a whole new world. Oh yeah, especially if you get like a whole new world and then you keep getting them one at a time, and then you end up milling your opponent, even though that's not your win condition. But sometimes it is. Okay. All right. Here we go. Now we got some lore combos going on. Get the hero mount. Yeah, they should have kept that Cheshire Cat. At least I think. I mean, you guys comment in the chat if you think that what they did was right. I would have shifted and kept banishing characters because I had nothing to hit his evasive with at the moment, and I don't have a card like a whole new world. So hello. All right, so I need to get rid of that Cinderella. So this is what I'm gonna do. Lore combo time. Jasmine, Cogsworth. Let's go. Let's go with the let it go. Bye, Felicia, or should I say bye, Cindy? Nice. Turned out to be a really fun match. You try to run cat decks. Oh, you funny. You are too funny. Yeah, welcome everybody to the chat. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody coming out and watching us. 25 viewers in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. I know sometimes we get to play um with White Breezy during the week. That's awesome. Fun guy. Lives in Florida as well. Talman Purple's awesome from Florida. Turns out, fun fact, he owns an LGS. Who would have thunk it? I wonder if the LGS is purple as well. You never know these days. All right. Oh, we got another fishbone quill. You know what we're gonna do? More lore combos. Let's go. Quest. Get some draw support. I mean, we might lose this, guys, but we're having a great time with this match. I mean, we're letting go left and right. Oh, we got the Cogsworth. We got this little Cogsworth. All good in the neighborhood. All right, let's get him out. Oh yeah, he gets with this beast. Is the rush. All right, we don't want to do anything with this because we're trying to make sure that Flynn is questing for as little as possible. We'll see. Oh, they got. Oh yeah, I might go down. Boom, there's one. Second one, let's go. Oh, the bodyguard. Okay. Oh, the Mad Hatter. Yeah, I think I might lose this, but it's all good. I don't even know if I went first or second either. Yeah, they got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, yeah, they got it. It's all good. We had a good time. Let's just quest for 3. Bring out Daisy. Yeah, because even if I would have brought the Scepter, did some moves, they still would have had a whole bunch. So that's all right. That is all right. Yeah, respect where respect is due. I thought that the person misplayed with that Cheshire Cat, but they knew. They knew about those lore combos. They knew what was going down. All right, let's see. What can we play next? Well, let's play a second one just for you to see this consistency of it. Then I'll do a little bit of Steel Emerald action. I gotta make this deck that I made on the TCG, the Lorcana official app. It was a Amethyst Amber with none other than Christopher Robin. How about that? No one ever plays him. So I was like, what could work? It may work, it may not work. I did some math to figure it out if it would work. So we started with Genie last time, but this is what I needed launched. That's like the most important thing I need. Oh, don't get rid of her. This is a good actually first hand. Yep, keeping it. I actually most likely will ink the Aurora, unless I have something weaker I can ink, like a Noi or something. Ooh, they could have whole new world me soon, which they didn't do the last game. So, all right, let's get Cogsworth into the ink. Let's popsicle. No joke. I don't know if I was playing lab or ranked, but it was yesterday, the day before. I played 2 people in a row, like the same person, the same deck, so I was able to actually beat them. Um, in the next set of games because I knew their win condition. At least I think I did. Who knows? My memory's not the greatest. All right, we need her. So let's ink the Jasmine. Can't do anything at the moment, so let's keep going. I've seen some people actually do the shifted hook with this hook. It's a viable option. Especially if you got reversing aggro because wait, unless I'm confusing the hook. One of them says you can't attack if you're 3 costs or under. So I think it is the shifted steel hook, not the ruby shifted hook. But correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Okay, so they're playing some control going on here. Okay, all right. Let's see, and they are ahead of me on the ink, but I'm gonna have Fishbone Quill soon. All right. I'm pretty sure they're gonna give me draw support later. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and ink this Donald. Let's see. Who am I gonna ink? I'll go ahead and ink this Let It Go. Because what I want to do is discard. So next turn, I can bring her out. Even if they Dragonfire her, at least they wasted a Dragonfire on her. But most people I've noticed aren't even playing Dragonfire. They're playing Be Prepared's Lady Tremaine. So they'll replace Dragonfire with Lady Tremaine. That's turn 6, so at least I can discard their hand one time at least. Ooh, nice. You have forgotten me as well. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and bring out this daisy. I could get some extra ink because I don't know what they're going to do. Let's go ahead and ink this mother knows best. I want to ink something at least per turn. I mean, the only draw support I have other than Hiram is the Prince John. When they discard, I get a card. I don't remember with this deck if I have. I don't think I have Hypnotize. And I don't think I have. It's not You Have Forgotten Me. It's whatever the MO one that's equivalent. It does one. All right, so let's get some bounce going here. I know this guy can do Aladdin soon, so let's not have him shift. Trying to see what big character this person will come out with. Because I need to use launch quick. Since they're playing steel, they can do a whole new world early game. And then I'll lose my chance. I think I only have 1 or 2 launches to use it. Since he's that desperate, or they're that desperate to bring out Aladdin, I'm assuming they're playing the shifted Aladdin. Which they need Dragonfire to do damage to Genie, so. Ooh. There we go. We'll go ahead and do Jasmine. Yeah, let's heal imaginary numbers. Alright. Quest for 2. I just want to see what they're going to play next. Cogsworth. Oh, yeah. Still don't have any evasives, okay. But we need Jasmine to survive. Cogsworth. Hmm. Let's see. I can get rid of Shere Khan. But only if I ink these two, I'm going to lose draw support. It's not worth it. Alright, I'll continue to quest for 2 there. They might bring out Aladdin, I don't know. But at least they have to do 6 total damage. 3 from Jafar. If they have the shifted Aladdin, yeah, they're gonna. Well, they won't get through Jasmine right away, but they can do a 2-parter. Jafar, or Captain Hook, and then Aladdin. But they'll waste their attack, and the next turn I can quest for 4 with Cogsworth and Genie. Oh, there it is. There he is. Okay. But now I know what to target to get rid of with launch. Because next turn he could do a whole bunch of stuff and then be prepared, and I'll be like, oh. So let's do this. Get rid of Popsicle and get rid of Aladdin. Because right now, I can't do anything with those guys. I'm actually going to tempt them. Go like that. Heal 1 with Jasmine. Next turn is possible to have 3 characters I can quest with. Geek and Trip. Sorry guys, I'm back in the chat now. So Geek and Trip is Talman and Purple's LGS. If you guys are ever in Florida, I think it's Central Florida area. I don't know if it's like Kissimmee or Orlando. Yeah, thanks, dude, man. Like you were very instrumental in making sure that my audio and the stream and all that was good. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Very instrumental. I mean, they might have game in 2 turns. Who knows? We got the Aurora. We got to ink this one. All right, here we go. Each turn I can quest for 6, or I can go into Shere Khan and Lady Tremaine. The Daisy is a great card. I have Christopher in my deck. Oh, you do, Quick Bow. All right, that's awesome. That is awesome indeed. Like King DDD. We're gamers over here, so yeah. Jess and I definitely play a lot of Switch. Splatoon, all one of our favorite games of all time. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. What? You kidding me? That's the GOAT right there. Link and Tears of the Kingdom. There you go. It's a herd of goats right there. How about that? Oh, look at this. How about I get some draw support? Yep, there we go. They could keep preparing me too. I mean, they most likely will have it. If I can get an item out, then I can most likely banish a character that they have. But other than that, maybe not. I'm just gonna try to quest as much as possible, as soon as possible, even if they be prepared me, because if they don't have it, then I can do good. I'm trying to play so that when I'm playing in real life, it's similar. So like I'm not trying to look over how many cards are left in the deck, because that would be no bueno. Oh man, the scar. Yeah, not good. That Cogsworth doesn't have 3. What if I shift it into the Cogsworth? Oh, Bucky for the win. Just kidding. Just kidding. See now, I'm afraid to quest because he'll attack. At this point, doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We got 16 people watching, man. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for that. Yeah, we made it to over 50 followers the other day, so we should be able to fill out our application for affiliate pretty soon because I think we've reached all the requirements. I just have to see if we reach the average number of viewers. All right, so it looks like Jotham will be able to play very soon. Let me finish up this game. That's why you guys are in here, right? You guys wanted to see number one at the 1K. What was his strategy? What did he do? Definitely not what I'm doing. For the win, the Bucky. JK. All right. So, give me just a second here. I just got to set up the Google Meets. Because for some reason, that's the only way that I can get the stream going without there being an issue. I don't know if it's because I stream on a laptop. I don't know what it is, but we tried doing Discord before when I did some live streams with some other content creators, and boy, that signal was messed up. Even when I played Pablo, the creator of Pixelborn, I made the mistake of muting one of the audios, and so you can't hear him anything. It seems like I'm just talking to myself the whole video, so you can check that out on YouTube. It says I'm playing the creator of Pixelborn, something like that. So you can see that video on there, but again, it sounds like I'm just talking to myself the whole time. All right, so let's see here. Now it's being difficult. Google Meet. Maybe I have to be signed in first. Give me a second. All right, let's see. Log in. Yeah, so it's Jotham Johnson. So if you guys have been paying attention to all the hype lately about the Dex and Dice Tournament Center tournament, man, the 1K, it's hard to say in a mouthful. Um, we had that our LGS last Saturday. Tom and Purple was there, so that was cool. Met DJ, the Geek Table from TikTok, he was there as well, and the Bearded Nerd was there as well. If you guys follow him, so we met a few different content creators in person. That was pretty cool. Yeah, so Jotham won first. We had some great people come out from Tampa that participated, and they topped as well. So that was pretty cool. Good experience overall. Everybody had a great time. I did horrible. I was like 40 something place, but um, I kind of had to put a deck together last minute. But that's all right. It's all good. I had fun. I met a lot of great people and stuff, and got to record. If you guys had seen some of the videos on the channel, some of the rounds at the end of the tournament. So that was cool. All right, so now that I'm logged in, I should be able to get a Google Meet invite. Yep. So he's gonna play a couple of games with um, what he played with, what he won with, the deck he won with. So that's gonna be cool to see that, and then he can talk about what his strategy was. All right. Hope you guys have been entertained so far. I mean, those were some fun matches, especially the first game I played. Man, that was insane. Some of the lore combos I was able to pull off. Well, I've been playing hundreds of hours of Pixelborn ever since the beginning of when Lorcana physically released. Definitely, it's been something that I've been playing a lot. Jess plays more in real life, and she's a beast at multiplayer. Um, She usually wins most multiplayers at our league. So we've played all the way up to 6-player multiplayer. I have some videos. I just have to figure out how to get it edited appropriately to make sure it's not super boring and long, but you guys are entertained. Cut out some of the unnecessaries. Once I get that going, then I'll be able to put that in there. All right, so let's see here. All right, so I just sent him the invite, just waiting for him to come on in. Hello, hello, Jotham. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Played a couple of games there and didn't do so great, but had some fun because I thought I was doing good, and then they came out with some lore combos of their own. And I was like, okay,
That's the most important part, though, right? At least having some
exactly.
fun.
So obviously, you won first place at the awesome 1K at Dex and Dice Tournament Center. So
hmm
how does it make you feel? Is that your first place in a Lorcana tournament that's that big?
Yeah, probably because the only other tournament that I played in was a Trove tournament about a month ago when it was still set one over at Nerdy Needs Gaming. So about 45 minutes an hour away from here. Um, I ended up splitting that with Marshall from our store actually for a top two. So we just split the trove. But other than that, yeah, I haven't played any large tournaments over basically over 24, 25 people or so. So yeah, first big one.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny, guys, because um, he doesn't get the opportunity to go to a lot of leagues and tournaments at our store, but I did get to play some games with Gotham. No, with Jotham. Sorry, guys. By the way, his name it does rhyme with Gotham, so it's easy to get him mixed up, but it's
Yeah,
all good.
exactly.
um, but we participated at this other LGS. There was a seal tournament. It was pretty cool. Our first, so Jess and I's first seal tournament. Jotham, was that your first seal tournament with Lorcana?
For Lorcana, yeah, because I actually missed the first set. Because when the first set came out, I didn't even realize it was coming out until the day of. So I didn't join any pre-release events or play any sealed events. So when the second set came out, that was my first um, actual sealed tournament or sealed event that I did, which was a lot of fun. I actually enjoy sealed and draft probably more than just standard constructed play.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Like I've the only time that Jess and I have done that, so we have a Pokemon background, and so
Oh, okay,
there's
yeah,
something called pre-release with Pokemon, and so you would go in and you would get this kind of like slightly pre-constructed deck that Pokemon provide, and then I think it's like 4 loose packs, and then you need
okay,
energy
yeah,
in order to do your attacks. So the store that we participated in, they would provide the energy, but you would take the 4 packs and then yeah, you would edit the deck accordingly. I forgot what the number was, something around like you had to make a 40 card deck or something. Um,
okay, yeah.
and those are fun. I think I actually won one of ours, so that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Um,
Yeah.
so that was fun. And so this was the first one with Lorcana, and so you have to think about this whole curve system. And so
hmm
if anybody's out there and they're really good at statistics, there's always a lot of curves with math. And so
Oh yes.
I did not really understand the curve too much, but shout out to Knives Nerd Corner over there on the internet. He has some awesome YouTube videos about drafting and sealed tournaments. So, check him out because he's really smart and understands the curve and what to do. So, I don't think I made the best curve deck, but I think Jotham, you did pretty good. What'd you get, like second or third during that tournament?
uh, I did. I think I ended up going third for that tournament. Yeah, I was. I drew the first round, I believe, and ended up getting third from the one draw that I had, which was kind of funny. But yeah, I did pretty well with that. And then the next day, I think, is when I went and did the draft, and ended up winning that. So that was a lot of fun too. But it's like you said, it's very hard to get a good curve going, especially when you're drafting and trying to remember, oh, do I need more 1 and 2 drops, or do I need some bigger guys now? Especially when you have to worry about uninkables too, and make sure you're not, half your deck's not uninkable. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to ink for a couple turns.
Exactly. So yeah, we didn't do too well on that, but man, we pulled some good cards. I'm pretty sure during that tournament we pulled at least 2 Donalds, the Legendary Ruby one,
Oh,
and
nice.
I don't know if we pulled Beast then. We either pulled a Steel Beast during that tournament, or it was the Emerald one. Um, so that was cool.
Yeah,
And
see, that's always fun when you pull when you pull something good like that during a sealed event.
oh yeah, and I don't know if you remember, but there was like this family there, and like the kid ended up getting the enchanted Mim
Oh
Dragon.
yes, yeah, that's right.
Man,
That's
back
cool.
then that was worth $300, $400. I don't know if it's still worth that because most people don't play it, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's cool. I was like, what? And then he ended up pulling another one, a regular just Madam Mim Dragon, and it's like, man, got some good packs there.
Right? Yeah.
All right, so to start off, some cool stuff here. If you got your deck ready, if you want to go to
Yeah.
custom, and we're just going to put play, keep it real simple, the game name. We'll do no timer so that way we can just concentrate on the conversation, not feel pressure to be like, oh no, I gotta go.
Yeah, that sounds good. All
And then you can just leave it. I will be first player without clicking on that. Just to, let's see the randomness. Let's see what happens, just like in
right. Yeah, yeah. Sounds
IRL.
good to me.
So I'm gonna start playing you with my Green Machina deck. So um,
Oh no.
yeah. By the way, did you were you watching any of the stream from 7 o'clock?
No, no, no. I wasn't. I did not jump on yet because I wasn't sure if you had started streaming or not. But I should have.
Okay, yeah. Because so hopefully you don't know all my secrets on this deck. So
No,
keep it
I know
interesting.
nothing about it.
All right, cool beans. All right, I think I got something good going on here. All right. Okay, very good. Ink the Winnie.
All right, Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah.
popsicle. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. How do we want to start this? Inked a tank, and that's it.
Ink the Tink. So this is the
Yeah.
exact deck you played on Saturday, right?
Yes, this is the exact deck I played Saturday.
Perfect. So guys, one of the things we wanted to ask because we want to give some breakdown of what his strategy was and everything. Can you tell us how long did you practice for, even if you don't have an exact science? And was it
Mhm.
purely Pixelborn, purely in real life, combination of both?
A combination of both. I try to do a little bit of both if I can, just because playing in person is a bit different than online. When you're playing on Pixelborn, it tracks everything for you, right? Like if you inked already for the turn, it highlights things that you may have forgotten to click on. So um, I also try to play in person to kind of get that feeling down. But so this specific deck, I actually played about a week. I want to say about a week and a half ago. Um, won a couple games with it, enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, that was fun. I'm gonna go on to something else. And then not until I think it was like that Thursday before the tournament, I started playing with this deck again on Pixelborn, and I ended up winning like 89% of my games out of like 20 games that I played. So I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I think I'm actually considering playing this for the tournament. So um, the next day, I think it was Friday. Yeah, Friday. Sean, who plays with us at our local shop, he came over, and a couple other friends came over just to play some Lorcana and hang out for a little bit. And I did not test this deck with them in person. Funny enough, I tested all the other decks I was considering because I was considering, the Steel Song um, that runs the flutes, and then the Ruby Amethyst Bounce. Even tested a little bit of Sapphire Steel. Um, Ended up not deciding what I wanted to play until I woke up the next morning, which I ended up playing the Amethyst Steel. And yeah, I was most comfortable with that deck on Pixelborn. I was doing really well with it, so it just made sense to go in and play with that deck.
That's awesome. So you guys heard it here first. You know, just a couple weeks kind of situation. Quite a few hours on Pixelborn. If you multiply 28
Mm-hmm.
games by, let's say, 15 minutes a pop, 10 minutes a pop, that's some hours right there. So, guys, if you're gonna enter a tournament, don't just play a deck one time and say, "Yeah, look, I won the first game. I'm gonna win a tournament." It's probably not gonna happen, but hey, you'll have some fun. I hope. um,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I don't think I've played anything that's gotten that high of a percentage win rate. 89%. That's pretty high.
It was crazy. Yeah, that's why I ended up making the switch. Before that, I was very comfortable with the Ruby Amethyst deck, but when I looked at my stats on Pixelborn, I was like, okay, well, I got to play this. I'm doing really well with it.
Yeah, that's pretty insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
So Steel Amethyst is interesting because he just played the goat, so he got the lore with the goat.
I
Um,
got the goat. Yep.
so just for you guys new to Lorcana, if you're new to the channel, one, we're Lorcata cards. We're here with Jotham Johnson. Got first place at the Dex and Dice Tournament Center tournament last Saturday. Um, Over 50 players, so it was pretty good turnout. So this goat character here, what happens in an Amethyst deck that plays him? Usually they bounce him up back into his hand and your hand, and you get lore. So every time he comes into play or he leaves play, whether that means he goes into the inkwell, he goes back in your hand, he goes to discard, he gets that one extra lore. And I think that's what he's going to be doing. So again, I'm giving him, I'm threatening him, guys. I'm saying, hey, I know what you're going to do, so I need to get rid of that goat. And so, I mean, there's a couple things I could do. Um, Nothing too great I can do at the moment. So hopefully this is worth it. I'm inking my Hiram.
Oh no, you're flourishing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that
Sometimes you gotta. Yeah, for
because I need to
Genie,
bounce that
worth
beast
it.
back in his hand.
Uh huh.
And I'm questing with my Daisy so I can discard a card. Hopefully I'm discarding something worthwhile.
I'm gonna discard my uninkable here.
That's all right with me. Yeah, Sorcerer Spellbook, guys. So if you don't, again, if you're new to Lorcana or if you're new to meta decks, this Sorcerer book is dangerous, especially with my deck that I cannot remove it. So if you can get rid of it, because that gives them after turn 4, I believe, whenever he has 4 ink or more, an ability to just get one
Mhm.
free lore each turn. So yeah, that's so. How many games did you win? Not in the tournament, but like in general, do you think you won based on the book alone? Like that was your main lore.
The book definitely puts in a lot of work, specifically in like the Ruby Amethyst matchups, because like kind of like your deck, Red Purple doesn't have anything to get rid of the book. So if you can kind of stabilize on the field and then you just start putting pressure every turn with Spellbook, they have no way to stop it. So it's a very strong card for that matchup. So I'd say it probably won, a good percentage of games for me, and at least in that matchup there. Other than that, some of the other matchups, like the if you're playing against aggro, you really don't want to see it, just because it's a little expensive to get out at first, and it's a little bit slow. So it is a little bit hard to justify having too many spell books in this deck. So I actually only run two, strictly for that reason.
Nice. Yeah, the Christopher Robin deck I made, or sorry, I made it on on my phone. So
Hmm.
we'll play two games of this, and then I want to play that one. But if you give me like 10 minutes, once we're done with those two games, I'll just keep asking you questions as I'm building the deck. But that will
Yep.
allow me to bring that out because I think it's an interesting thing. I was like, how can we get Christopher Robin to work because no one plays him. So just I was
I
just
would like to
interested in.
see, yeah, I would like to see a good deck with that. That would be fun.
And so I was counting the uninkables like you mentioned, and so the book. So anybody that's new to Lorcana or just started playing, you don't really want to have more than 20% of your deck uninkable. Some decks you have to have like a third because they're more controlled, they're longer. So you do want to make sure that you have the right combinations of cards, but you also want to make sure you're mulliganing the right cards in that first hand because if not, that 30% uninkables, they're not going to do good for you. So when I made the Robin Hood, when I made the Christopher Robin, I was counting. I'm like, all right, how many of these unequals will I have? Because I was trying to run four at first. I'm like, nope. With the characters that I need, I cannot run that many. And so I think I took it down to three. So we'll see whenever I make the deck what that comes down to. As you guys saw, even though he is questing for a lot of lore, he did his Tinkerbell so that way he can do damage to my genie. Because other than that,
Hmm.
I don't know if he plays the Peter Pan. He doesn't have to reveal all his secrets. But if he doesn't, then that's fine. Um, he has nothing to hit me other than with like cannons, grab your sword, and Tinkerbell. And that's
Hmm.
only if Tinkerbell lands or she banishes somebody, and then bye bye. So that's kind of how that goes. But to make sure my
Yeah.
genie is a little bit more protected, I'm gonna go ahead and
Ooh, gumbo pot.
do some healing. Yep. And you know
Genie
what?
is hard to get rid of.
I also don't want this goat to be bounced up later in the game. If he happens to have
That's
those
fair.
cards, I'm still trying to figure that out. So, oh wait a second. Oh, I thought
Oh, it didn't count the
that was
attack.
not the
Yeah.
right Donald. I thought it was the shifted Donald.
The other one. Yeah.
Oh, for the win, guys! Donald went to sleep permanently. That was funny. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lose this one because I thought I was getting rid of the goat. Oh man.
Oh, that's a good draw. Okay. This is a pretty good draw.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so my gumbo pot was
Yeah.
only so far. See,
Very.
I needed my cogs worth out to be able to
Oh, Cogsworth. Yeah, I would
slow you
do it.
down. Yeah, so I put cogs in the deck for that reason because since a lot of people can't
Hmm.
attack Genie directly, they can do stuff so that Cogsworth's there to protect them a little bit.
I do like Cogsworth.
Which this isn't the right Cogsworth, but
Oh,
might as well.
yeah. Yeah.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I don't think I'm gonna win. I mean, I don't have anything massive like a Be Prepared or anything like that in this deck, so
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
just quest for two for the heck of it. Yeah, that this beast is no joke, guys. Whenever I see the beast come out, I try to damage him as soon as possible because that extra draw
Oh, yeah,
really
he's
hurts.
scary.
Yeah. Um, like I mentioned earlier, I'm from a Pokemon background, so draw support in that game is so easy. Like there's you discard your hand, draw seven, you do this, draw two. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Not in Lorcana. So if you play a deck that has a lot of good draw support, which Amethyst Steel does, you're in a good
Hmm.
place. All right, so let's play another one real quick. I'm gonna play the same deck. We'll put the word play in there.
Okay.
See what happens. Hey, do you remember if you went first? I don't remember if I went first or you went first.
Oh, I don't remember either.
I think I went first though because I did do popsicle, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right, I got some interesting things
Let's
going on here.
see.
There.
Hmm.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Not bad.
Let's try this. I don't know that I like this opening hand. Oh, this
Me
is
neither.
interesting. Okay.
I'm in the same boat. Oh no, don't eat that one. Which is funny because I was waiting for like a whole new world, so I was trying to like ramp up
Play
and
around
and,
that.
and get and
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
get some stuff going, but then I was like, wait a second.
Let's see.
Um, so other than Dex and Dice Tournament Center, are there any other places that you do league at?
Uh, there's one store that I go to on Saturdays midday, called For Honor and Glory over in Zephyr Hills. Um, just because they do it in the middle of the day, and sometimes it's easier for me to get over there than it is other places on like a Saturday or Friday night. Um, so sometimes I'll go over there, not too often though, just because they're about an hour drive away from me. Um, but then I also do go to HP Guild Games, which is um, they usually do League Friday night, and sometimes they'll do. Well, you were there when they did their sealed and draft on the weekends. I think he's going to try doing that more often. So I try to hit a couple different stores depending on my availability for the week.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only local one we really have gone to play league at, and it really wasn't league, it was just a sealed tournament, was that one. One, I mean, you
Yeah. Yeah.
you have limited budget and time, right? We're adults, we work full time, and so
Mm-hmm.
working Monday through Friday, usually for us at least, we're like, oh, we got time on Saturday, we can do the league here at Dex and Dice.
Mm-hmm.
But they had that special event with Chapter 2 launching, and we're like, oh, we never done a sealed one with Lorcana, let's do it. And so we had a good
Yeah.
time. So that worked out for us. That worked out
Yeah. I'm
quite
really glad
well.
they did it. It was a lot of fun, and I hope they continue doing more and maybe do some, even if it isn't pre-release. I'd like to do some more sealed and draft events.
Oh,
Which
definitely.
Dex and Dice is doing draft events. I think Wednesdays and Fridays now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so if anybody lives, I suggest driving no more than an hour. That's just my personal opinion. So if you guys live within 30 minutes to an hour to Lakeland, definitely check out Dex and Dice on Wednesdays and Fridays. Fridays for us is better for draft, but then again, it could get expensive. It's $30 a person, or 25. I don't remember. I think it was 30. But yeah, if you go there, um, it's a fun experiment of a game style. So we had a good time. I actually pulled my first Maleficent Dragon. It wasn't foil, but man, that was awesome. Do you have a playset of the Maleficent Dragon? Oh, I wonder if I lost him. I think I lost Jotham. At least audio.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can
Okay,
hear you
yeah, I
now.
think it disconnected for a sec. Yeah. Uh, no, yeah, like I was saying, I did get a playset of the Maleficents, luckily. But I also got them when they were kind of expensive. So when I traded, I was trading a couple cards to try to just get one Maleficent because they were at like $50 a piece at one point.
Oh yeah,
Some of them
insane.
like kind of like how the Beast Tragic Hero is right now. Not quite as expensive, but it's still one of the most expensive cards in this set right now.
Oh yeah, it's up there. It is up there.
Which, speaking of which, Marshall from the shop, actually, he let me borrow 2 Tragic Beast heroes to play with in the tournament. Um, so that was super nice of him, because if I didn't get to borrow those 2 Tragic Beasts, I was probably just going to play Ruby Amethyst. And I think what I chose to play was a good meta call. So super grateful that he let me borrow those.
That's awesome. Yeah, we pulled all together with the Seal Tournament plus the booster box and the Lumineer's Trove. We got the 1 Emerald Beast and then the 1 Steel Beast. So that was pretty cool to get
Oh,
those,
nice. Yeah.
all of that. And then we got a whole bunch of other legendaries. We got Mufasa. I think we get 1 or 2 of those. We got a foil Snow White, so not the enchanted, but the
Ooh.
gifted foil. So that was
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
And then we got a foil Arthur, so that was awesome.
Oh, that's nice. That's really cool.
Yeah, so we got some pretty good stuff there. For not spending, let's say, $1,000 on products. We spent a few $100s, but
Right.
not $1,000.
Right. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. All right, so let's see if we can slow his roll down just a tinge.
It's okay if you don't. You can pass here. Oh no. That's what I was worried about, the genie coming out again.
All right. We're just having a good time. Don't worry about it.
Just hanging out, having a good time.
Hanging out. Bouncing people up and down. You bounce people, I'm bouncing people too. Little Lorcana
All
basketball.
right. Let's see what we draw here. We need to draw some cards. Ooh, that wasn't great.
R&B, thanks for clarifying that. R&B, guys, we met him in person. I think he's from that store you talked about, that Nerdy Needs store, and his team came and
R&B,
played.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they tore it up, man. They represented so good, and yeah, it was a first second place split. I personally just know Jotham, so I was like, hey, can I chat it up with you tonight and stuff? So yeah, I mean, it was super cool people, man. Like most people don't end up wanting to stay super late to play the last 2 games, anyways, on some of these tournaments. So, but it was a great turnout for all you guys. I wish I would have done better, but now I'm more prepared. And I was like, hey Jess, like I'm gonna make us both some really good decks, so that way we're both gonna play in the next 1K wherever that is, and let's see if we can at least top 8. So that's the dream.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun though, and then also props to RMB, because he was actually the one that posted this deck list on the 20 Lore Pro Discord. Um, so definitely props to him for posting this deck list.
Yeah, big props there. Yeah, 20 Lore Pro. If you guys don't know, like that's a Discord channel where you can go and usually go to limitless.com, I think is the website, and you can play Pokemon, Lorcana, things like that. It's a way to organize tournaments. And so 20 Lore Pro is one of the first Lorcana teams, event organized, whatever you want to call it. And they had like 3 tournaments or something so far on there. And then I think they did one the same day, Saturday, where it was a 200 and something player. I don't know if it was a free tournament, a charity tournament. You guys clarify in the chat, but yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see what they had going on there. All right, I know what you're doing with that Tinkerbell. I don't like what you're selling, man.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry
Don't worry
about it.
about it. All right,
You're just hanging out.
I'm just hanging out. I forgot that I said that, right? That we're just hanging out. So Tinkerbell needs to get frozen. I don't like what Tinkerbell's selling there. She needs to go to sleep. Go to sleep, little Tink. All right, so let's do some other stuff. Let's get a little bit of Daisy going on. All right, cool.
All right, let's see.
Oh, the playmats definitely. Oh, I forgot about that to mention the playmats. So we're over here talking about cards and all that. the playmats were nice. If you are watching
Oh
the
yes.
stream and you guys are Treasure Planet fans, you guys are gonna like nail me to a coffin or something because I wanted to see that as a kid. So I'm 34 and I never saw it. That's one of the few Disney movies I did not
Oh
see.
man,
So I never
you're
saw it, but I
missing
remember
out.
seeing trailers of it, and I have this really cool memory of like I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, Walmart had like these two things. It was like an AOL or something demo discs, which I don't know if that gave you free internet. I'm not sure exactly what the breakdown was, but you used that. And then Disney on the other side gave out like these little free demo discs of Atlantis, The Last Emperor, whatever the thing is called. You guys can correct me. But that it has like the same art style, I think. I don't know if it was the same director or whatever, but I remember playing the demo, man, the computer couldn't handle it for nothing. I played like 5 minutes and it chugged like a turtle crossing the street, man. It was so bad.
The good old days.
The good old days. All right, let's see here. Again, I don't like that beast. I
Oh
don't I
man.
don't
Oh,
I know he's sad,
you
but
don't want to blast my rabbit?
he needs to cry over there in your hand.
Okay, let's see.
Look at that. I wasn't even paying attention. I was paying attention to
Ugh.
the chat. I didn't realize you got rid of my Cogsworth.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was annoying. I had to get rid of him.
You had to get rid of him. Yeah, so what do you think of the mats, man?
Oh, the mats were awesome. I know there was a couple people in our store that actually loved Treasure Planet as well and really wanted the mats. Um, and at first, I didn't really care about it, and then I was like, "Oh wait, these mats kind of look dope." Once I saw them, I'm like, "Okay, these are actually kind of cool." And then I was like, "And my wife loves Treasure Planet." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna have to take this home and show it to her because she wasn't like I told her I'm gonna go play at the tournament and just have fun. If I win, I win. If not, not a big deal." And then I come home with a mat, and she like freaked out because she loves Treasure Planet. So it was good. It was a fun day, and even though I was gone all day, she thought it was worth it.
That's awesome. What a great memory. I mean, one of the questions I was going to ask you was, like, who kind of helped you with prepare, for this tournament and all that? Kind of like, what was your support system? And you have your wife there. That's awesome. I didn't even know
Mhm.
that she was a huge fan um, of Treasure Planet. So what a great story. That's like this is a Hallmark movie. Jotham, we're gonna make a Hallmark movie out of you, and it's
She
gonna
also
be like,
loves Hallmark Christmas movies, so don't don't tell her that.
oh yes, oh perfect. All right, so guess what? Hey everybody, next week I'm having his wife special guest star for the Christmas stream.
Oh man.
I'm just kidding. I don't think I'm streaming on Christmas. Christmas, we got plans and stuff, and you gotta have some.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny though that she's a huge Hallmark fan. So some of them are pretty decent though, man. I sit down and watch them too, man. I'm a hopeless romantic at heart, so. Oh man, so let's see what we can do here. I don't like that Ursula. Yeah,
Yeah, Ursula's kind of big.
she kind of has all those swirls going on. I don't like all those swirls. Hmm. Man, see, my deck is kind of slowed down, so it's like, what do I do? Guess I got to do that, and then remove something.
Man, these genies.
See, you're smart. You're not. I don't. Do you even? Now we're being transparent because obviously we're not playing a tournament. Do you even run
Yeah.
um a whole new world in your deck?
No, I do not. And I think that's one of the advantages about playing something like this is that Amethyst Steel deck is a lot of people expect you to have whole new world. So during the tournament, because there's a purple steel mill list out there, so people expect whole new world. This deck does not run it whatsoever. So I think that's kind of a big advantage that I had while playing this deck. Um, And then, like, another example is like, oh, you asked about Peter Pan for vases. I don't run the Peter Pans in here. So just it's hard for people to know what to play around for this deck. So that was one of the reasons I really wanted to play this too on Saturday when I woke up in the morning. I'm like, you know what, this deck's this deck would do pretty well. People aren't going to exactly know what cards I'm playing. The only person that would recognize it is probably RMB because he's the one that created the deck. And it's funny because he walked up to me, I think third or fourth round, and was like, "Oh, hey." He was talking to me about the purple steel deck and or asked me what I was playing. And I told him, he's like, "Oh yeah, I made this one the other day or a week ago or something." And he showed it to me. I'm like, because I couldn't remember who posted in the Discord that deck, and he showed it to me. I'm like, that looks almost exactly like the list I'm playing. And then later on, I double checked to see if that was the list, and sure enough, it turned out it was the list he posted in Discord. So I thought that was kind of funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is too funny. I mean, look at that. He helped bring home
Oh
the
yeah, he
gold for
did.
you and for other people too. So it's like, all right.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he had multiple. I think he had three different decks. He had his deck, one of his teammates' decks in top eight, and then my deck um, that performed really well at that tournament, which is great. So like props, like R&B is good at just cooking up different kind of decks and just trying a bunch of different things.
Oh yeah, I mean, we follow him on Twitch, and so yeah, he streams all the time and gives good knowledge. It was great to meet him in person.
Hmm.
We actually met some of the other content creators out there too. Like there's this guy, he's the Geek Table, and he's on TikTok, and so he has all these random
Okay,
things that he shows off. So he's been doing Lorcana packs, but he collects a lot of different things. And his father sent him like a cool Harry Potter gift one day, so that was pretty cool. Um,
oh that's cool. Yeah.
and then there's some other players that showed up. Talman Purple, he was there, so he has the LGS Kissimmee, so that was cool. And then
Oh yeah, I played against him. I think round three. He's super nice guy, super cool.
oh yeah, he's super cool. I didn't know you actually played it. So that's awesome that you actually
Yeah,
got to play
yeah.
him. So how close was that match?
So I think he won the first game. Pretty sure he won the first game. So he was playing like uh, a discard um, deck, right? Discard control. And he kind of just ran me over the first game because I couldn't get anything out early enough, and then he just kind of ran me over because I had nothing to play. The second game, I think there was one or two turns where he just did not draw into inkables and couldn't do much. He didn't really have much action. And then third game was a little bit closer, but he didn't draw into any discard. So his deck didn't really do what he wanted his deck to do. So it was a very, very good match. Overall, the games were pretty tight. And he's also a very good player. So I'm kind of lucky that I uh, got away with that one.
Nice. Yeah, it's I've noticed if I had one of my other decks that has more Emerald discard cards, that I could have slowed you down more because once you start building up your engine, I notice you just kind of keep going. So right now, I don't really have
Hmm.
anything, um, because my deck does not play massive removal at the same time. It's like individual hits, and so once you start building up a few different people, that's it, game over.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And in this deck, the the side of my deck, we have like swords and smash and let's storm rage on things, small removal and stuff like that to take care of aggro. Um, the biggest issue with this deck is actually like big bodies. So stuff like that 7-drop Cinderella and like opposing Ursula's, things like that are really hard for us to get rid of. with this deck, because our only answer for it really is the 6-drop Yzma, the one that says when it comes into play, target a character, shuffle that into that person's deck, and they draw 2 cards. So usually that's not usually what you want to do with her is, if you have a rabbit out on board, you could quest with your rabbit, then play her, shuffle your rabbit back into your deck, and then you get to draw 3 cards because you draw 2 from Yzma's effect, and then you also draw 1 from rabbit leaving the field. Um, but a lot of times, what you end up having to do with Yzma is basically use her as like a pseudo removal. So, like if they get Big Cinderella out, you have to Yzma their Cinderella just to keep control of the board. So it's a little scary situation when you're doing that because you're letting them draw 2 cards, and if you're playing against Ruby Amethyst, you're giving them a chance to draw and to be prepared as well.
That's true. I've seen that combo countless times. The Yzma putting cards back so you can draw it. They've done it with the goat. I've first people that have done it with the rabbit. Yeah,
Hmm.
you just get so many cards because your thing is your deck works. Most of the Amethyst of Chapter 2 works 1 card, 2 cards at a time, maybe you bring out, but
Hmm.
they're not playing wide for the most part until a later game, which is what you did
Yep,
right there. You're like,
exactly.
yep, I'm going wide right now. You're slowing me down at the beginning by scaring me with the hook and with the Prince
Hmm.
Eric. And so it's like, man, should I bring somebody out? Should I not? And then I wasn't questioning because I didn't want you to hit me. And so that's what allowed you to build up.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And to that point, like even the Tinkerbells, I actually really like the 3-drop Tinkerbells in here because I've seen some lists that just don't include the 3-cost Tinkerbell in there, and they only run the big Tink. But the 3-cost Tink in this deck is very good at scaring your opponents because they're thinking, oh, what if they shift into big Tink on turn 4 and they just blow up my whole board? So they have to play around that. So I really like the inclusion of the 3-cost Tink in there because you can kind of put her out. And I during the tournament last week, and I actually was able to hold off quite a few opponents from just questing out with like 4 characters on the board on like turn 4 or 5 because I had little Tink out. And they would have something like Evasive Mini and then like Olaf and 2 other small characters, but they wouldn't quest with all the other characters because they didn't want me to shift into Big Tink, and then attack into one of their small characters and blow up their Evasive Mickey. So a lot of times she actually saved me potentially 5 or 6 lore in a couple turns.
She is probably my favorite Chapter 1 card, the big Tink, and even the little Tink too,
Hmm.
because you kind of want the shift. You really don't want to play big Tink only in a deck. I mean, it's rare if I've ever versed somebody that only played the big Tink. Maybe she could work like in a control deck where you're not worried about shifting her. Like, oh, I'll bring you out late game. Don't worry about it. I'll
Right.
I'll I'll,
Yeah.
t- I'll tear you up either way. So, um, dude, you're like on the money because that's what I do. If I play a steel deck and I have her in it, I'm bringing. That's my first target. How do I bring out Tink as soon as possible? So if I can mulligan
Hmm.
and get both of them in my hand, great. If not, I'm mulliganing to make sure I have the cannons because if I'm versing aggro, I can get rid of them pretty quick. Um, before they bring out Pinocchios and the Lilos turn 3.
Hmm.
So that's cool. Yeah, I definitely like that. Lantern is one of my favorite cards too because I like to be able to bring out cards quicker. Um, so speaking of like new cards and what you've been playing now, so obviously you've played Steel Amethyst for this tournament. You got
Hmm.
first, but were you playing a lot of Amethyst Steel with Chapter 1, or what was your main color?
Mm, no, yeah. So Amethyst Steel wasn't really. I dabbled with it. I I'll preface this with I've played a lot of the combinations of decks. So basically, any color pair I've tried, but there have been more certain color pairs that I've played more than others. For set 1, I started off with Ruby Amethyst because it was just that that heavy control deck. It had card draw. It had character destruction. It just did everything you kind of wanted it to do. Um, I played that the very first week, I believe, of set one, and then did not play it after that. And the reason is I did not like playing the mirror matchup for that because it just took forever, right? There was a lot of, okay, I draw a card, you draw a card, I draw a card, back and forth for about half an hour before people were really doing anything. For the most part, it's a little more intricate than that, but those games are too slow, and a lot of them came down to just whoever won the first game would usually win because you didn't have time for a second or third game. Um, so I actually ended up switching over to Steel Song, so um, Amber Steel, because it was aggressive. You could refill your hand with Rockstar Stitch or Whole New World. Um, it was more proactive rather than reactive. So you're kind of pushing the boundaries and trying to force your opponent um, to doing things that they don't want to do. So I really enjoyed that deck a lot, actually. And then, like you said, kind of Lantern. Lantern's a fun card. You put a Lantern down on turn two, and then it ends up saving you, 6, 7, 8 ink down the road because you can it's free ink every turn. So that kind of was my favorite deck leading out of set one. I did go into some um, Sapphire Amber towards the end of set one. That one was fun. Just wasn't always super consistent. So it was very hard to beat um, Steel Song there.
And I know Steel Song actually chopped quite a few tournaments. I mean, definitely top eights had at least one or two Steel Songs, if not more. And then usually first, second, third was a Steel Song. So that was definitely up there. I like playing it on Pixelborn. Product was so hard to come
Mm-hmm.
by and so
Oh
expensive
yeah.
by singles when it came out that I stayed away from most legendaries. We don't own a Rapunzel to this day for that reason. Now that her price has gone down, we'll buy probably a couple coming up, but we haven't made a deck around her yet. So it's like we're not desperate to get her to make a deck to play in tournaments. So we can wait a little
Mm-hmm.
bit.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I was lucky enough to pull a few myself, and then I think I ended up pulling I ended up pulling three. One of them was foil, and at that time her price for foil was super high. So I ended up just trading that away to get two regular Rapunzels, possibly something else. I don't remember, but she was just worth so much, and um, I I don't really care about foils too much when I play with them. So I was fine giving up a foil Rapunzel to find two more to complete my deck. Um, so I got a little lucky being able to get those. Same with some of the Maleficents and stuff. I was able to find some product, and then also my sister just likes Disney in general, so she bought. I think she found a booster box or two herself, and she ended up opening some stuff, and I ended up getting some of the cards I needed from her too. So I was lucky and being able to obtain most of what I needed for that first set.
Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you two of our biggest pulls, and then I want to see what two of your biggest pulls, or however many
Okay.
uh, you
Yeah.
got from chapter one. So we ended up pulling the Enchanted Elsa after just buying our sixth
Oh, nice.
booster, not booster box, but after just buying our sixth starter, we pulled out the pack. I mean, the video's on YouTube, so if you guys haven't seen, you're gonna see an authentic reaction. And afterwards, we found out that was the most expensive enchanted card. So yeah, we were excited, but I think we would be more excited if we would have known it was that expensive of a card. So that, and then that was a couple of weeks before we ended up pulling in another video our second enchanted, which was the Tinkerbell. So that's our two biggest pulls.
Man, that's pretty good. Out of all the products that I've gotten so far, I have not pulled a single enchanted, which is kind of funny because I've gotten quite a bit. Um, and my wife loves opening the packs. So basically, anytime I get packs, if I win them at a shop or I buy them while I'm out somewhere, I always have to bring them home and let her open them because she enjoys opening them more than I do. When I open a pack, I'm like I go straight to the rare slot and see if I got the card that I'm looking for that I need. But she actually enjoys going through the cards and looking through the art. So I always let her do it. It's a lot of fun for her. But our two best pulls that we got were one was the foil Rapunzel. Pulled that when it was a crazy price. It was like 100, I think $120 or something at the time for just a foil Rapunzel, which was crazy. And then I think, oh, the other one that we had pulled ended up being a foil Belle, and Belle's one of her favorite Disney characters. So we did not trade that one away. I usually don't care about foils, but we put that one in a hard case for her, and she just put that up on her bookshelf because she likes it. And it's a pretty card. It's not enchanted Belle, but foil Belle still looks pretty.
Yeah, it's funny. Good. I saw my first foil bell in person the other day when I was part of a Friday draft at Dex and Dice. Um, One of the guys there, Billy, he pulled it. It was pretty cool because I was like, oh, I know it's an expensive card. So I was really cool seeing that. But I know I was happy pulling the not the enchanted, but the Maleficent Dragon. And then Jess ended up pulling two Cuscos. And not that you really pull them because so this is how it works, guys. If you've never played draft, everyone kind of sits in a little circle doing kumbaya. I'm just kidding about the kumbaya part, but you sit around a table and then each person gets a pack to start off with. You open the pack, you grab a card, and you start by passing it to the left. The rest of the pack. So usually, some people are there for collecting. So like, I'm gonna go for the most rarest card in the pack. I'm gonna keep that. Other people want to win the actual draft tournament, so they're gonna go for cards that they know are gonna be what's called bombs, usually the bread method. So again, check Knives Nerd Corner on YouTube. You'll figure out what all that means. Um, and so yeah, so she got the Cuscos. I don't know if she pulled them immediately from the packs or if someone just passed it because I don't think anybody would have passed it in chapter one draft because there's not a lot of removal, I don't think, in drafting
Hmm.
to take care of a Cusco. You need to grab your swords, some Tinkerbell stuff going on there, maybe a Maui kind of situation. So the likelihood to get those. But yeah, she pulled that. I forgot what some other stuff she pulled out, but I was like, man. So even though we spent our $60 to participate, I think we almost got our money back with the stuff we got. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, see, and that's it. That's what makes it worth it right now. Or it was. I haven't checked prices this past week, but a lot of times, even if you draft and you don't feel like you might not know how to play draft well, or you don't know how to set your deck up, or what kind of curve to set up, you can still just pull really fun cards or good cards that will kind of give your money back for playing. So that and draft's just fun. Like it kind of evens out the playing field for people who you know don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on legendaries um, and have to try to play a budget deck against somebody else that spent $800 on their deck. um, Draft kind of evens that out. And you're right though, like set one did not have a lot of removals, especially while drafting. A lot of the removals in like rare or super rare slots, and so Cusco's kind of a powerhouse in draft. So yeah, like if you find removal, just snap that up.
Exactly. Um, R&B mentioned in the chat he was playing with four foil bells in his deck on Saturday. So that's funny.
My, he's. I think he said that he completely foiled out his Sapphire Steel deck finally, which I'll have to see it in person.
Yeah, you got to
I know
bling it
he
up.
was looking for some. Yeah, he was looking for some foil Tragic Beast, and I think he got his hands on all of them finally. So good for him. That's going to be a pretty deck.
Oh yeah. So I finished making my deck. If you want to go into custom again and put play.
Oh sure, yeah.
Yeah. So again, this is the first time anywhere and anybody guys that I'm playing this Christopher Robin deck. I just made it up. If there is a duplicate out there in the interverse of the universe of the internet, I didn't copy nobody. I just literally was in my bed about to go to sleep, and I was like, oh, what can I do? So,
All right. Do you want me to play anything,
oh yeah, you can
or do
play
you want me to
anything.
play the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
deck?
you can. No,
Okay.
you can play whatever you want, man.
Okay. Cool. All right.
As we're playing this one, um, what are your thoughts on location cards? They've been introduced in Chapter 3, and obviously we're about 2.5 months away from retail release, but I think about 2 months away from LGS release. So what do you think about those? How do you think they're going to change up the gameplay?
They're interesting. I like that it's going to add a whole new dynamic to this game. Because right now we're kind of set. Everybody knows, the characters, the actions and item cards. Then there's only so much you can do right now. But when they introduce locations, that's basically it's a whole new aspect of the game. Like Pokemon, you're familiar with Pokemon. They have stadium cards, and things like Magic. Um, People might be familiar with like Planeswalkers. It's not the same, but it's just another aspect that was introduced to the game that kind of adds another dimension. And I think it's very good for the game. I think it's healthy for the game for stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see. Play on my little stitch here. Really excited to see how it goes. I think it's going to go one of two ways. I think locations are going to be either very, very good in set three and kind of be uh, the overwhelming like focus point of set three, or I think it's going to be the very opposite of that and just be very underwhelming. But for what we've seen already, I think locations are going to be very good in set three. So that means I expect in set four to be some kind of big card that, like a land destruction card that can kind of either easily get rid of locations for cheap or mass removal. But I guess we'll see. I'm super excited to see this.
I think the most exciting part I am about it is the potential to really introduce a lot more properties. Maybe the reason why Ravensburger held back on certain IP is because they really
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do like a Grand Slam opening on it. And so they're like, well, why are we just going to release a card when we could do like what we would call lore combos and be like, guess what? We just revealed the first shifted Simba. Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
He comes with the Pride Lands. And
That
um,
would be cool.
as long as he's on the Pride Lands, you get an extra one or two lore each turn. I mean, he's the king. He's like, hey, I'm here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe he's evasive. There hasn't been an evasive Simba, so it could be an evasive shifted Simba. And I'm thinking maybe that's going to be bringing some new IP in there. They're going to just be like, yeah, look, this location we got to go big. So location here, this character's coming out, and then this is happening. So, you know, um, I don't know if they have the copyrights for that song. Oh, man, what's it called? My wife knows it. Oh, memory from Cats, I think is in that
Oh
in the
yes.
Lion
Yeah.
King. So they may or may not have the copyright for that, but it'd be nice if they brought out I can't remember his name, but the toucan and have him sing it. Like that would be a cool song and then a cool character or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think location is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to open opportunities, like just for gameplay wise, and like you said, just for like flavor text and the overall game. So I'm super excited for them.
oh yeah.
Which means I'm probably going to have to buy another few sets or another few booster boxes of that set. I was going to take it easy this next set, but I'm like, now we're going to have location cards. I'm going to have to buy them.
So we think we've talked about certain things, and so one of the things we talked about was like the introduction of additional ink colors. I mean, it's always
Mm-hmm.
usually a good thing if it's years down the road versus it being like super quick when a set comes out because now you're overwhelming people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, resist alone was a little bit of a what? Not have to do extra math while I'm playing.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. I was a little surprised they introduced resist this early.
this early, yeah. But our thought is that it'd be nice for them to introduce what we consider um, the black ink for Onyx. And so
Mm-hmm.
we talked about okay, well, what this needs to do is actually make people. Let me get a free lore while we're at it. Make people stay their ink stay wetter longer. So what happens is, so let's say I brought out Pascal, right? And the next turn I should be able to quest with him, right? Because that's the whole point. You bring
Hmm.
him out, bring him with the second character, so that way he's questing and no one can stop him for a bit. No, these Onyx cards, they would come out and you can only have like either one version of each card per deck, or your deck can only run an Onyx, but they would be that powerful that would slow people down. Like your ink is still wet, you can't do nothing for
Hmm.
a couple of turns or whatever the case may be. So that's kind of the thought about it. And the other thought would be um, removing ink. Think about it, because we're trying to play with the whole it's black, and most of the time when you think of ink, ink is black, and so it's like, well, what's something that hasn't been touched yet? No one has been able to remove ink from your ink wall. Well, what if these onyx cards can like suck up the ink, and so that could be another option too. Again, a reason why you can only play one of a type or whatever. So that
Hmm.
would suck up some of the ink. So it's like you think you're gonna ramp up, and you're about to bring out the genie, and then boom, slow down. Genie's not coming out. So I mean, that's just some of the things that we've thought about.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting. Like you said, I think later down the line, I could see them doing something like that. At least, uh, with the colors. But like, I would expect more than anything if they're bringing in a like a seventh color, basically. I think it would be maybe something like colorless that basically lets you play it in any color combination deck, right? So since you're limited to two colors, if you play a colorless card, you could technically have that in any deck. I could see that being a thing down the road too, which would be interesting. Um, but I do want to see some kind of ink removal to counter ramp. Sorry, RMB, but to counter ramp at some point. I don't think it should be introduced to the game this early because we already have hand destruction. We already have like resist, like you were saying, in set two already. I don't think we should take away ink um, until maybe years down the road, because like Magic has it, and it doesn't feel fun when your opponent's sitting there destroying all your lands, and you have to kind of just sit there and hope you top deck a land and can play it so you can actually play some of your other cards. Um, but I think they definitely have a lot of options of how they can handle um, more colors in the future, or just colorless cards in general.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if you guys saw, just there was a cool little chat that came up cropped up from a legitimate business person. If anything, I want the rules changed so shifted cards keep the bomb abilities. There's some Pokemon cards that do that. So essentially, in Pokemon, you evolve your Pokemon. So if anybody's not familiar with Pokemon, they're these little character monsters, and they look different as you put one on top of the other, and they evolve. But once you evolve, you only use whatever the new thing has. So like in Lorcana, Aladdin can only use the abilities that he has right now. I would want that as well in a card, because I like to be able to shift and still take a lore away from somebody with Aladdin. So maybe there's going to be a land where it says, I don't know. So let's ponder, what would the land be? What land would allow you to remember things? Because if you remember things from your past, then you're able to use them. So whether that's the chat, Jotham, anybody, what do you guys think could be a good location that if your character's there, they will remember what they did before they were shifted?
Oh man, that's a hard question. I can't think. Somebody in chat's gonna have to save me because, yeah, that's a good question.
Let's see here. I mean, I'm mulligan pretty bad, so I'm not doing that great.
I had a pretty good mulligan actually. Mine was pretty good. But look at all these all these items. Your item deck now.
Yeah. Um, I know one location they did tease the Ravensburger folks was the Jolly Roger, I believe it was, which I think is that pirate ship from Peter Pan. So I wouldn't necessarily say that could be a location that would do that, but I think maybe Neverland because you, I know you don't get older, so I don't know if it's like a memory thing, but since you don't forget about being a kid, maybe that could be something related to that. Or again, if there's another Disney IP that's more about this is about memories in the story, then you guys mentioned that because the only other thing I can think of, which of course I'm gonna get everyone freaking out, is if they bring Kingdom Hearts stuff in because the 100%
Oh man.
location that should do that. If you're not a fan of Kingdom Hearts, play the games. It's Castle Oblivion. Castle Oblivion is all about forgetting, remembering things. And so if they ever do bring out Kingdom Hearts and they bring out that location, I think that has to be the ability for it. Any character that's on there will remember their previous forms, abilities. Um, yeah, so check out Kingdom Hearts when you guys get a chance. Buy the PS4 collection because that's the best way to see it, to play. Oh, I think you're gonna win next turns.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I am going.
But man, I had fun. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever brought out so many items in a game before, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I literally
We're
started
the
off with
new
so many.
item deck now.
I couldn't ink for like a turn or two, so it was not good
Right.
this game. Oh, look at that. R&B wrote, return a card in a player's equal to that player's hand. Wow. Yeah, I like that.
See, I could see something. I could see something like that. I think that would be. I think that would be fair, and they could introduce something like that in the next couple sets, because that's not like it's not straight destroying that card, but it's just kind of returning that to their hand and slowing them down, which you know, kind of like a befuddle, but for ink.
Yeah, I like that because Pokemon does that. Again, guys, I'll mention Pokemon. Jotham will mention all the games he's played, but yeah, in Pokemon, you need energy to attack. So what you do is you have a card out. So let's say you had Aladdin in Lorcana. In order for him to challenge, you would have to put a card onto him. That's what you do in Pokemon. So there are plenty of cards, um, whether that is characters themselves or Pokemon, that would knock off energy and either put it in the discard or back in your hand, or there are actually what's called trainer cards and or action and Lorcana cards. They would actually knock off energy. So again, it could go back into the hand. It can go to the discard. Sometimes you can put it back on the person's deck, but it usually it's not like a shuffle. It's on the top. So you got to strategize like, well, I did slow them down, but did I slow them down enough? Because you need sometimes multiple of these energy cards attached in order for you to actually do an attack in Pokemon versus Lorcana. The only time I've really seen anything like that is if like Pascal's ability where he has to have another character out in order for him to quest. Um, Christopher Robin has something similar. You have to have two characters for his ability to activate where he gets two lore for being readied. And so that's why I was trying to do the last game. I just mulliganed horrible. One of your own. Or an opponent's out of them. They take them off the tempo. Yep, you're right, R&B. Um, do you have time for one more game or do you have to jump off?
No, I can do one more game.
Okay. I'm gonna try to play the deck again just because this is the first time I made the deck, and so just trying to get some
Yeah,
gameplay out of it.
yeah.
See if it's even feasible. I might just have too many uninkables, but I mean, when you mulligan, you have like 5 uninkables. That's not good.
Oh, that's rough.
I like that Mufasa. I want to make a Mufasa goat deck because if Mufasa goes away and you're able to bring a goat out, I mean that's a free lore right there.
Hmm.
All right, I'm not gonna make the same mistake I made last time. And I actually have a really great first hand, so I'm gonna keep it. All righty. All right, ink in the befuddle. Cindy's coming out.
Mm. Let's see, tough choice. Let's think that.
Okay. All right, let's sing. Let's see, what should we sing? Sing to get the queen. Go ahead and ink the queen. And we'll get one of my favorite chapter 1
Ooh,
cards.
Lantern.
The Lantern.
I do like Lantern. Okay, well, I don't like Cinderella, so I do have to kill her there.
You don't want me to sing?
No, yeah, she sings too much for my liking. Oh man, my hand's a little awkward. Okay, so we're gonna play Simba. Then I am also gonna play out Lantern.
So I'm excited because we just reached 60 followers. So thank you everyone for all the followers. We literally hit 50 followers. I think it was either Friday evening or Saturday morning, something. It was pretty awesome that we reached that number. And so I think we might have had 5 people talking in the chat, and we just need to get like I think 3 people average viewership or something like that. So if you guys keep coming back, we stream Monday 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be able to grow with you guys, and the videos will be up on Twitch for 2 weeks versus just 1 week. Though we do try to download them and then upload them to YouTube and put them in our playlist of like Twitch streaming or something like that. You can go there and you can see all the ones that we do. I've missed a couple of them, but I'm pretty sure I've downloaded most of them. All right, because I don't know what you're gonna do the next couple of turns. Got to ink the mem. Get one of the books out there because gotta get the. Oh, you got your own Lancer. Just notice. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so legitimate business person wrote, I'd love to have something like 2 ink, 2 lore, 3/3 when it enters, return an ink to your hands. Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Especially if you're playing ramp and you're like done ramping, but you just need that whatever you put down. Who knows? You could have put an Yzma with your ramp, and you're like, oh yeah, there's my friend. Then you can do some lore combos. Oh, I see what lore combos you're about to do with Doc. Okay. Can't have that. Cannot have that. Okay. All right. Well, until then, let's just get some lore. Even though I did want to pull out Christopher Robin, uh, I could have mulliganed my hand, but I also had the risk. I think I run 13 uninkables, which isn't bad. It's a 65
Yeah.
card deck, but I just didn't want it to be another kind of like boring match like last time. Yeah, so we're trying to introduce a second day. Look at that, 61 followers. Hey, Studded Net, how you doing? Welcome to the
Climbing up.
chat. Yeah, so we appreciate all you guys following us, man. We got a lot of followers today. I mean, I pushed it out there, man. I put on a couple different discords like, hey, I'm gonna be interviewing Jotham. Got first the 1K, help get the word out there. I mean, I really want to promote the store because they've just done so much for us. Like we've been able to pre-order with them, and boom, like they help us out, and running the league. I mean, we've gotten a couple of promo cards from them and some of the pins. I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy with how they've run everything up to this point. So very happy with our LGS. So just wanted to kind of give back there and um, on the other side, help to increase our viewership here, Lorcata Cards, and become affiliates so that way we can give back to you guys as well and be able to have, again, like I said, videos that are like 2 weeks um, on the Twitch afterwards. Once you finish streaming, they stay on there, and some other benefits too that come about it. So just trying to grow the whole community. So I appreciate you, Jotham, and you took the time out of your night. Thank you. Well, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Oh yeah, of course. Any excuse I can have to play some Lorcana, I'm always down.
So who told you to bring up Mufasa? I just put him away. I don't understand.
Look, when you have in your opening hand a couple of big lions, you just keep them. You know.
That's no bueno, man. No bueno. Well, can't do anything else. I'm gonna get some free lore on at it. Um,
Mufasa might be one of the most fun cards in the game right now, just because it's like playing roulette when you play him.
oh yeah.
All right, let's see. So
I mean, I could have put Mufasa in this deck. I just thought about it. I didn't. I was not thinking about him as a character. Like, oh yeah,
missing
let's put
out,
him in. Yeah.
missing out. Okay, so I'm gonna play this Rockstar first because if I hit Surfer Stitch off of this Mufasa, we're gonna draw a couple cards.
You're gonna do some more combos. Oh, the
Okay,
mini.
we'll take a Minnie Mouse. That's not
Yeah,
bad. She
I'll
plays for
take the
that,
Minnie Mouse, the evasive. Okay.
right?
Yep. I'll do that. I'll take that. Oh man, Pascal for the win.
Pascal's gonna put in work.
I don't like your queen and what she's selling, so I'm just gonna be crazy. Go like this,
Uh,
just to
no,
entertain
I think that's fair. Yeah,
just to entertain everybody out there. Chameleon versus the queen there. You just got to do it.
that was a good trade because I did have the big queen that I was gonna shift into next turn.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, that was actually a pretty good play.
Well, I mean, you have mini now that's evasive, so really, like, if I had a better evasive out there,
Yeah, you don't have the genies this time, so I don't have to worry about Minnie dying.
nope, you do not. Oh man, you won.
That's
Nice.
oh, that is 20. Yeah,
Yeah, there it is.
Minnie putting in work.
Man, that's it. See, sometimes you surf. Wait, hold on. You have the Rockstar Stitch, and then you have the surfing mini. That's kind of ironic because Stitch also surfs, so it's like, hey,
Yeah, I'm gonna build a surfer deck for every beach card that comes out, and in future sets, I'm just gonna build a whole surfer deck, surfer mini, surfer stitches, whatever else they do.
that's awesome. That studded net, yeah, I'm doing great, man, doing great. I don't know if you're from the United States or Florida or anything like that, but it's been chilly the last couple of days, so had to pull out, the sweaters, the long sleeves. Other than that, it's been good. All right, so let's see. Let's see. I think we might have time for one more game if you want, because I usually try to shut the stream off at 9. Sometimes I get excited and go
Yeah,
way
yeah, yeah.
later. But I think we have time for one more. So I'm gonna bring out a deck, one of my favorites to play, and no one really plays with it.
Let's see. What do I want to bring up? Um,
Let me just double check and make sure I'm picking the right one. Yeah, I don't remember how to play it too well this one, but maybe I might. Let me just look at
okay.
my deck
Yeah,
list real quick. I'm gonna look at my deck list
yeah.
and be like, what's in here again? I have so many decks I made. It's just fun building decks. Um, that's one of the things I'll say, guys. Everybody out there, if you guys went to the tournament at Decks and Dice Tournament Center on Saturday, there's so much creativity. There was so many people that had different decks and all that. It wasn't just like 50% Amethyst Ruby. Like it was legit. You didn't know who you're gonna play when you were playing them, which was great because I feel like with Pokemon, that one of the problems it has is like everybody's playing these 3 or 4 meta decks, and that's it. And there's no creativity. Oh, and by the way, you might lose turn 2, so that's always fun. Um, Lorcana, I feel like, is a more fair game where you're actually playing it and you're making progress. And sometimes you really don't know until you don't know that you're going to lose. So I think it's fun that way. All right.
Yeah, it was cool to see someone top 8 with the lemon lime uh, discard deck. That was a lot of fun.
Ooh, yeah. Oh man, I let me get out of this. I'm gonna concede because I realized that I got
Oh, did you
excited.
not go in the?
I did not. I got excited. I was like, wait a second. Press the buttons too fast. Yes, confirm. I want to cancel that. Wait, cancel. I don't know what's going on. That's what I get for trying to rush. Get out of here. Yes, concede. You win. There you go. Get up the ladder a little bit.
Great job.
All right, now back to custom. Back to play. See, we have a good time here, guys. We have a good time. All right, where's my deck? So many decks. Okay, now I'm ready. Yeah, I'm excited for what Chapter 3 is gonna bring with the locations. I'm excited to see what new IP. Like, it'd be cool to see gargoyles come out. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, gargoyles was hype. I know a lot of people want gargoyles. I did too, just because I remember watching, gargoyles as a kid. Saturday morning to, Pop Tart and just hanging out.
Yeah, gargoyles is cool. So check this out, right? So we got all this fancy modern technology. We got Apple phones. We got streaming things. What we're doing right now, but back in the day, in the 90s, the revolutionary thing was interactive movie games. Woo! So I remember, like it was yesterday, my parents got us like this gargoyle one. And so you'd watch like bits and pieces of like episodes of the gargoyle as you played the game. And then you had to somehow like rewind and fast forward because you couldn't do like a DVD where it says go to chapter 3. You had to like rewind or fast forward once certain decisions were made, and then you made progress. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you had to live with that decision or force it to go back. Wasn't as easy as just clicking a menu item and choosing to skip to something else.
Exactly. And so it was cool because yeah, you were like playing. So sometimes yeah, you would lose and all the gargoyles would just be turned to stone and that's it, game over. But sometimes you'd win and defeat the bad guys, and so that was really cool back in the day. So definitely gargoyles. I'm psyched and hyped for Ducktales. Woo! That's
Oh,
gonna be awesome.
same. I'm super excited for Ducktales. I was wanting Ducktales as soon as I knew this game existed. I was like, oh, any Ducktales, I'm building. I don't care if it's bad. I'm still gonna build that deck.
So what would be the location? Would it be Duckburg, you think?
I guess they would start with Duckburg. Yeah, they would probably have to start with that. That makes the most sense. Or maybe they would do something like Scrooge's Vault or something.
Oh, that's what I was thinking too. The vault, yeah. I bet if you were on the vault, you get extra lore. I mean, it would just make sense, right? Or you get to
Oh
draw
yeah,
something like that. Maybe you get to draw
something like that.
an
Something
extra card.
greedy.
Hey, check this out. Has Ravensburger confirmed if you could only have one location on the field?
No, you can as far as I'm aware, you can have multiple locations on the field because your your characters, once you move it to one location, the only way to move it off of that location is by moving it to another one of your locations. So you can have multiple on the field.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, which is why I think it's going to actually be a game changer in set three. I think it's actually going to open a lot of different color pairings that maybe aren't viable right now and actually make them good.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that indeed. So check this out. Like I know you're playing a popsicle deck here, variation of it. Um, Imagine you have that, right? And then you have Duckburg or the vaults, right? You have the gold vaults, and that
Hmm.
gives you draws, for example. So you get the popsicle, you put the Cogsworth on the vault, and so like let's say for every character that you get on the vault, you get an extra draw. So you're over there doing
That would be
popsicle
crazy.
combos
That would be kind of cool.
and
Yeah.
heroes going left and right, and so that would be pretty cool. I think the only caveat would be maybe it's only like two willpower. I mean, it can't be too strong,
Yeah,
but it's
they'd
just
have to limit it. Yeah, exactly. I could
maybe
see something like that.
uninkable or something. Um, I think what some of the abilities that they can do if they want to take advantage of like attributes and personalities of like ink colors is make like sapphire card or sapphire locations either give you more ink during your turn, like like a fishbone quill, kind of like that situation, like either
Hmm.
allowing you to put an additional card in the inkwell, or maybe even just sacrificing one of your own characters and put them in the inkwell, kind of like you're letting it go to yourself. Something. Just I'm trying to think of like
Yeah.
ramp. Um, the other side of it could be ward. It could anybody that's on location could get ward because
Oh,
that's
yeah, I
what
could see that being a thing for sure. Yeah.
um
That would make
steel.
sense to me.
I think steel could have either like resist or like removal. So like maybe like the Jolly Roger would be steel, and then on it you're acting like a cannon. So each turn you can do one damage to somebody or something, or like every person that's on
Hmm.
the Jolly Rancher can hit one cannon. Like
Hang
realistically,
something for one. Yeah.
like people are manning a ship. So oh, you get that cannon, you get that cannon. So they're over here doing different shots, and so I can see
Oh
something
man,
like
that would
that.
be crazy. That would actually be kind of cool. And then somebody, if they had that, you would just combo it with Green Beast. So every time something gets damaged, you stand them back up. So like, oh man, yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Oh, you can't do that. What are you talking about? Oh man, that's good. I like that. I like that indeed. Okay, let's see what we can do here.
Oh man. Okay.
Gotta take that one lore.
Oh no, my single lore.
Gotta do it. I gotta do it. Okay, so let's see who else we can pop out of there. Oh, perfect. All right, I think we can use a Maui in our lives.
All right.
Yeah, I made this. Man, this was way in the beginning of chapter one when you can have Rapunzel's and all that without breaking your bank because it's digital. It's not. There's no money
Right.
involved.
Yeah.
So I was like, what can I do to make like some crazy kind of princess deck? So I got the Mulans in here. I got the Moanas in here. I got the Rapunzels in here. I got the Be Prepareds in here because if you can get Be Prepared with Ariel out, man, that is some beauty right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the Shield of
Yeah.
Virtue because you want to ready. If you're singing with Ariel, you don't want to leave Ariel vulnerable. You want to reset her, so gotta have that shield.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Shield's good.
Yeah.
Shield's just such a good card.
Oh, so the stud net. Sorry, chat, kind of ignored you for a little bit. Uh, he's in California. It's been a little chilly too. Cool. I mean, it's cool. It's chilly because you're kind of having a California winter Christmas kind of thing. So that's cool. Legitimate business person said, yeah, Gargoyles is Disney. Yep. Um, long time ago. Long time ago. I mean, it's funny because I wonder if Ravensburger purposely made that beast look like a gargoyle to hint, like, yeah, guys, gargoyle is coming out either in chapter 3 or chapter 4, so get your wallet ready.
They knew what they were doing with that. They like that looks so much like a gargoyle. Like aesthetic, they knew they're trying to get people hyped for it.
Of course, yeah.
Set four, they're gonna do it. I would expect that.
Oh yeah. Because I work in marketing, guys, so I know a little bit, a little thing or two about how to hype people up about things. So it makes sense they would do that. They're not coincidentally doing that. The same way um, you're bringing in locations, they're gonna start bringing some stuff. They might even make the first chapter with the biggest set number. So if you think about it, if you look back at the cards, they release the exact same number of cards in each set. This could be the first set. It's like, you know what? Let's get a little crazy out there. Let's add 10 more cards. Woo! So people are gonna be like, oh man, so now I gotta collect them and understand that there's gonna be more cards in this set than there was in the other two. So um, but check this out, Jotham, as a good pattern. I noticed that there was only one Floodborn of each character in Chapter 1. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I looked it up the other day. But in this set, each character, I think, has two Floodborn. Like, whoever has a Floodborn,
There's
there's
two,
two of each
yeah.
one. And so it's possible in Chapter 3, there's three Floodborns. Um, so that would be cool too. And check this out. What if locations have Floodborns, even if they're not released in Chapter 3? I'm guaranteeing you're gonna meet some Chapter 4 locations. So I don't know. Like, let's say that Jolly Ranch is a steal, and you get cannons for everybody being there. The shifted version of that would be, well, guess what? Now we got a little bit of resist. So all your characters on here resist +1. So now you're unstoppable. You
Could you
just
could you imagine like having just like your shift Cogsworth, the 5 cost Cogsworth on a resist steel land, and then you just like you're giving him resist, and then everything else resist with Cogsworth. That would be crazy.
insane. That would be insane. Yeah, that's why I like Cogsworth, because I know you're waiting for your Cogsworth to come out because you're like, I'm ready. But at this point, I can't let him happen. I can't let that happen. So I gotta get rid of him before he can protect your Hiram over there. Yeah, I can't have that happen. Nope. All right. I don't want to quest with Ariel. Yeah, I mean, I think there's gonna be some good stuff, but I do wish for chapter 4 and 5 they do slow down. That what they do is they focus on bringing out Floodborns of characters that probably should have had it in chapter 2, and that they bring out maybe new locations, but that they don't change up any more game mechanics because it's getting a little bit hard to keep up. And
Yeah, yeah, it is.
I mean, think about it. Like, let's say a family's going in because all of our content's family friendly. So if you guys come over and watch Lorcata cards, you're not going to see swearing and things like that, inappropriate talks and stuff like that. Um, and so we really see Disney as bringing the families together, for a card game like Pokemon does. Um, and so what I see is if they keep bringing in new mechanics, for families like, oh, what's this cool thing in the store, and then they come to a league and all of a sudden they're playing maybe with chapter 1 cards because that's all they found at Walmart, but they're playing some games with somebody that has like chapter 5 cards and just doing all these crazy things. They're like, I don't want to play this anymore. This is complicated. And I don't want to see that. I want to see, families and the community growing. I hope that they just slow it down just a bit with chapter 4 and 5. Yeah, I don't like what you're doing there with all those
Oh
jaws and
no,
all that
Maui,
stuff.
Maui, killing my flow.
That's not cool, man. That is not cool at all.
All right, let's see.
All right, let me see here. Got a lot of questions here in the chat. Darkwing Duck. Oh yeah, Darkwing Duck. Super excited for that, man. If that comes out with the whole Duckburg and stuff. Um, because it's cool because Darkwing Duck has like that noir feel to it. So you would have like
Mm-hmm.
a New York style kind of locations. His base of operations. I don't remember what it's called, but that'd be cool. Let's see. Legitimate business person. Kind of wish that the I can't see because of my icons. That the rules you have to have a character on location to gain the lore on standby. True, yeah, the fact that you can just get it for not having it, it's kind of like a book, but you don't even have to pay the cost for the book. You have to pay the cost, the spell book. But if you had a location and you just have um a person not shifted there, it's like what? Yes, that in that. Yeah, feel free to ask a question. Shift to look. Oh yeah, legitimate business person also said shift to locations. Yes, that in that. Go ahead, ask questions away. I don't know if you want to ask a question towards me or Jotham or just something in general. All right, let's see here. Man, you messed me up there a little bit. Okay,
Yeah, how to get rid of that Maui?
you gotta get rid of that melon. Well, that's fine. I'll just go pick him up again.
Gonna bring him back.
Gotta bring him back. Gotta bring back the Maui. So, what to do? Decisions, decisions. You have 9 ink. Forgot what you were doing over there.
Fishbone quill, man.
I know.
Trying to take a book out of R&B. Though I'm not playing Steel.
Ooh, okay. So, hey, Jotham, why don't you answer this? You probably because I think you have more experience playing these types of card games than I do. Since Pokemon, you're not really worried about ramp and things of that nature. So, Studina asks, what is the strategy for beating a discard deck? Always seem to lose to it.
Yeah, so discards decks are they're a little bit matchup dependent. So depending on what you're playing, you're gonna have to play around it a certain way. I will say discard deck is highly dependent upon your opponent getting the correct pieces they need in their opening hand. So basically, they're looking for stuff like the Prince Johns, their 1 and 2 drops to be able to sing sudden chill, things like that. If they don't draw into the exact pieces they need to, they're going to fall flat pretty fast. Um, so the easiest way to beat the discard decks is early pressure. You need to start just putting out you need to basically play on curve. You need to play a 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop as much as you can and as fast as you can. Because even though the discard decks are annoying and forcing you to discard everything out of your hand, what they lack is actual board control for the most part. So that means, Prince Sean's only a 1/2 for 3 costs. So they're spending a turn paying 3 to play a character that only has one power and 2 health, right? So you should be playing out uh, characters like if you're playing Ruby Amethyst, you should play out your Olaf. There's a lot of times on turn 2, if I have the choice of playing out um, like another Olaf or a mini versus the snake, I'm gonna play the Olaf or the mini out. And the reason for that is because um, if I if I play snake on turn 2, I have to bounce the Olaf that's already on the field, and then I only have one character on board by turn 3, right? Versus if I don't bounce my turn 1 Olaf and I put out another Olaf on turn 2, now I have 2 characters on board and I get to quest with both of them next turn. So you're already putting a little bit more pressure on your opponent than if you were to play out the snake on turn 2. So it's just about applying pressure on the board. And basically, you're turning into an aggro deck against discard for the most part. The other way you can play around it, and I'll play out my card here. The other way that you can kind of play around it is, again, with something like Amethyst, if you're playing an Amethyst deck, is you're going to quest or sorry, you're not going to quest. You're going to play a lot of your draw spells, right? So things like Friends on the Other Side, Rabbit's a big one. Being able to play Rabbit and bounce Rabbit back to let you keep drawing cards kind of helps uh, keep your hand full enough until you can amass a big board. They have a big problem dealing with a wide board. So the more characters you get out, the better chance you have to win. Because in a long game, they're going to win it if they keep making you discard your cards, right? Um, so that's mainly how you play around. I'll just quest out for the win here. How you play around the discard, but it's kind of similar to how Steel Song was in the first set and kind of is right now. If they get all the pieces, if they get the perfect hand at the beginning, um, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it, and that's okay. But there's also a lot of times where they just don't draw well, and they just fall flat.
That's some great advice. The only thing I would add to it, I've noticed that when I know I'm versing somebody that's going to be discarding a lot, I just try to keep as many cards as I can in my hand and play a big body as soon as I can because I know that
Mm-hmm.
they're going to have ways to possibly do damage to me. So if they're playing some kind of discard deck with steel, they're going to probably have a couple cannons, Tinkerbells, and so you want to have a bigger body out there. That way, kind of last until you're able to build up some ink. So maybe not ink every turn, unless you're able to do like you said, play on the curve 1, 2, 3, 4, um,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's a way for you to somehow, I mean, it's great if you have ramp because that kind of helps you out, right? If you're able to ramp early on, um, it doesn't matter if you're only drawing one card at a time. You're probably going to be able to play it every time and then play your big body characters. So at that point, if let's say you're playing Tamatoa, they're not going to have enough removal to really get rid of him if you bring him out decently early on. And so even though you're only questing for one, I mean that's a big body right there. So, um, but yeah, everything I agree with what you said right there, man. You're on point.
Yeah, it's an annoying deck to play against, but yeah, if you don't have to ink every turn, and like say you have like 3 cards in hand, and you really like if you have Steel Beast, the Tragic Beast, 5 cost, and it's turn 4, and you have Steel Beast in hand, and then like 2 other cards. Sometimes on turn 4, if I already played out everything on turn 4, I won't ink something for that turn, and I'll wait until the next turn um, in case they make me discard 2. Because if I have 3 in hand, I can choose to discard the other 2, and then hope I draw an inkable so that I can play Beast out turn 5. Just little stuff like that. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but it's just against discard, you don't always need to ink every single turn if you have a large enough hand. Now, if it comes down to like your top decking, so say you're top decking and you have like 5 or 6 ink at this point as Ruby Amethyst, you have to decide if you're going to ink that card you drew. Like if it's a Minnie Mouse, are you going to ink a 1-drop Minnie Mouse to get to 7 or 8 ink, so that you can play some other larger cards that you might draw into, or if you're just going to drop it onto the field. Most of the time, I would probably say drop it onto the field just so you can apply pressure and try to quest to get the 20. But there are times where it's correct to also ink it. The most important thing is just remember if they have Prince John on the field and 4 or 5 cards in their hand on their side, and you only have like 2 cards in your hand, say like a 5-drop Beast and a 6-drop Tinkerbell. Um, Usually, the best thing to do is to play out one of those cards. Like if you only have 6 or 7 ink, you play out one of those cards, ink the other one, because it's almost a guarantee next turn they're going to make you discard that card from your hand, and you don't want them to draw a card from Prince John. So it's just little stuff like that kind of adds up.
Awesome. Yeah. So StudNet said, thank you so much for the answer. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Always happy to help.
Awesome, man. Well, John, I think we're gonna close the stream out. But we appreciate really you taking the time out tonight out of your busy day. I know you're tired working all day. So thank you for playing all these games. letting us know the strategy behind your deck and how it is that you ended up getting that high in the tournament. That's awesome. To be able to be first place there, um, regardless if it was decided to go split or not. If you would have got second, it's all good. That's really cool. And you were able to bring great memories to your wife, who's a huge Treasure Planet fan. So that's just all sorts of goodness. And I didn't get to beat you in any of the games, I don't think, but I still had fun regardless because in the end, guys, this is math. You're never going to always win. So have fun while you're doing it. And sometimes you're going to win, and sometimes you're going to top eight at tournaments, sometimes you're not. So figure out what you want to do, but always have fun. Is there anything you want to leave any of the fans with?
Uh, no, I think you said it pretty well. I mean, thanks to Dex and Dex for running the tournament. Nick there, the judge. I know he had a lot of tough calls during the tournament that he had to make, but I think he did it pretty well with it and handled it really well. So props to him. Props to RMB for the deck, and then also Marshall, who let me borrow the two tragic beasts that I really needed that morning. Um, and then Sean for doing a little testing with me in paper before that, so that I could decide that I didn't want to play any of the decks that I tested in paper. So props to all of them.
That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, thank you everybody that he mentioned. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again in leagues coming up the next couple Saturdays. I'll probably no go. Got some big plans coming up, but if we don't see you in the next couple weeks, man, we hope that you have a happy holiday. We hope that all of our fans out there have a happy holiday, safe travels, and we'll see you in a couple weeks or so. Have a good night, Jotham.
Awesome, thank you.